rate the president's performance. 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, excellence, 1 being poor, woeful. Rate the president.
I mean, the report card is there. If you say I will provide it,
you're an intellectual.
You say you provide electricity, yes, and you do not. No, I'm an intellectual, but I want to talk to the street people.
Yeah, practicals.
Yes, you say you provide electricity. And in fact, you said, if I don't, do not vote for me. And you have shown clearly, in fact, I don't know the current number, but I know it even dropped. So this is F9.
F9.
F9. It's flat F9. But it's true. I mean, look at that. Insecurity today is F9. The economy is F9. The light situation is F9. So I'm trying hard to even find something that I can use to even make an excuse for this present regime. What even makes it worse is, you see the ambassadorial list. Then you look at INEC. Then you look at the judicial system, where now, I mean, I don't know how to say this, that certificate forgery is not, and you guess, now, to make matters worse, even what I'm discussing right now, some people are out there insulting me, and insulting you, and insulting us for even having this conversation. That is even worse than the failure. So it's not even about just F9. It's the fact that there are people who are paid, and there are those who even love the F9. It's almost like like they say, there are, whether husband or wife, there are people that like them they love to be beaten. So if you don't beat them, so this is the scenario that we have right now. There are people who love failure, because
Stockholm
syndrome. Should Nigeria work, they know that they will not be well. If Nigeria is working, I know governors in this place that are not worthy of being my driver. But they are governors of state. People who, their original job at best, they should be gate men. Not because the job of a gate man is not important. But you cannot be a governor because it's about policy, it's about vision, it's about somebody who does not understand what I'm talking about should not be a governor. But when you have a Nigeria that is not working, then you have people who should be somewhere, in the helm of affairs and leading it. And by the way, this, the conversation we had is in context when I say political leadership, because it is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that appointed a professor. So if the intellectuals will rise up and take their place, we should have an intellectual president.
Interesting. Dr. Mo, if by the time 2027 arrives, Tinubu is still the president, of course, that's after the election. Tinubu is still the president, and INEC has done whatever it is they want to do. Opposition is suppressed, and everything you have described there. If they are successful, how far is the opposition willing to go to make sure the APC, INEC do not compromise the electoral process? How far is your party willing to go, and other opposition parties?
Based on what happened,
in the ambit of the law.
The law. Again, that has become a context now, because when the government of the day is breaking the law and shifting the goalposts, I don't know if you listened to what Professor Yemi Osibanjo, the former vice president, said, where he said, because he's a professor of law. Yes, when you break the law, you're actually calling, you that broke the law, you are calling for civil disobedience, because you cannot, and I don't know why I keep making that, certificate forgery will always be forgery. If you rig election, you are a criminal. It doesn't matter what happens. And you cannot rig election and then stand and be boasting. What will happen is that you are activating the people to go against you, So should everything status quo remain? I know from what happened in the convention yesterday, I can tell you that the opposition are more than determined, to come together. And I'm happy about it somewhat, because now even their selfish individual interests are beginning to give way. I pray that it will totally give way, because I remember vividly, if you remember, when we had about 7 people, this was in NPN, in the 80s, where you have people like Chiroma, you have people like Malam Aminu Kano, you have this, yes, and all those. They were impeccable Nigerian leaders who are worthy of holding their own, grounds anywhere. What the party leadership did in that case is that they went out completely and brought a man that was not even interested.
We've seen all sorts of things.
Okay. No, but I think, but again, they brought him, and then he was able to. But that's because the party were able. Because you're asking me how far the opposition are willing to go. I want them to go that far, to the point where their individual ambition will go down completely, so that we can have a new Nigeria. I'm seeing the tendencies, but I'm also watching because I'm not fully certified yet. But from what happened yesterday, I think they're on the path to ensuring that happens.
In 1 minute, if Mr. Peter Obi does not get a ticket, the obedience, are they going to pull out of the ADC coalition? 1 minute.
When we get to the bridge, we'll cross that.
No, you've been very upfront, so be upfront on this one.
Mr. Peter Obi has said clearly that if it is transparent and accountable, whoever emerges, he will support the president. So I think so.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Let's finish up with this, your AMAC experience, baptism of fire, if I may use the word. So, what happened? If you actually won, why didn't you come out to tell the public, I won, this and that happened? Rather, you disappear, like I said. Are you afraid? Is it that you're afraid of FCT Minister Wike? You don't want to, offend him and all of that?
Minister Wike is actually, I drive around and I see what he's doing, and I can tell you, commendable. And I respect him because, he's, how do I put it? He's in his 50s, just a little. The age gap is not that much. I respect him as a minister. I respect him as somebody who is in government. I respect him, his portfolio and what he is. But for what is going on, I'm not afraid of anybody. We've had conversations. I'm not afraid of Tinubu, President Bola Tinubu. I'm not afraid of Barrister. I'm not afraid of any human being. As a matter of fact, I can tell you, I've carried millions into the woods to go and rescue people who have been kidnapped. So I'm not one of those Nigerians. I'm young and brutal. And I think, I'm sure the video got to him when I said he could not rewrite, the result in AMAC. And I'm being haunted, by all these paid agents. Anytime you put anything on, even with this interview, they are going to come on me and all of that, I went back because I know that I won the election, and I couldn't speak about it because we are maybe this is the first time I'll be saying it publicly, because I'm in court.
Oh, you're litigating the outcome?
Yes, and I know that a lot of people will be disappointed because they begged me, they say, Mo, just let this thing go, just don't worry yourself. After all, they can call you and reward you and all of that. So even with this statement I'm making, a few people will be disappointed. But Mr. Wale, my allegiance, if 10,000 people, if 20,000 people come out, Musa in Gwagwa died defending my vote. I have people, mothers, grandmothers who have been crying since this election. I've been going around. I've done 3 thank you events. The last one was in the Merit House. People showed up in their numbers. I'm feeding people just to thank them for coming out, for believing again, for trusting again. Against all odds, the intimidation. Some of our people were being taken by police. A curfew imposed the day before election. People could not cross and all kinds of things, and the money, politics, and everything that happens. For those who stood, for INEC to even say I got over 12,000. Just imagine 12,000. That's their declaration. That's not the number of people that voted for me. To even admit that 12,000 in Abuja municipality come out. I mean, just thinking about that alone. I can't fail. I can't fail. So for that, I will take it to the end, regardless of what happens.
The votes you got, INEC said you scored was 12,000 votes.
Plus, yes.
12,000 plus. As against, what was the winner?
40,000.
40,000, okay. But you think you got more than that?
Absolutely.
You have your own results?
Absolutely.
For me, CTA and all of that?
Absolutely.
You have that, and that's why
We
that's why
can
you're going
see
to the courts.
yes, the mutilation. I mean, in a place where you have the total accredited voters about about maybe 200, and then you have people voting, and then at the end of the day, you have APC have 1,200 and something, and we have a lot like that. So you have mutilation. Results were changed between polling units and the collation centers, all kinds of.
So, what are your basic grounds for litigation? Your basic grounds that you're contesting?
Unfortunately, I can't talk about those
Okay,
details.
the matter is in court.
Yes.
Okay, let's leave that. Anyway, there's this trending issue that you made these statements concerning the FCT minister that prior to the election, that AMAC is not Obiakpo, he cannot come and write results in Abuja, and they've been, coming after you. So, what do you say to that?
First of all, AMAC, Obiakpo, they are not the same thing. They are two different things, But aside from that, AMAC truly is not Obiakpo, because we can also see. And but Mr. Wale, aside the banter, the issue is more serious than that. AMAC is the #1 local council. It's home to the president and everything that Nigeria can be. And to see what happened, the joke is not on me. The joke is on the minister and those agents who have been paid to come strolling on my timeline. Because if I say, for example, that, Mr. Wale, you cannot steal this microphone, the whole world is watching, and then this microphone disappeared, the joke is not on me. They are saying to the minister that he is an election rigger. They are saying to Nyesom Wike that that he wrote results. And it is sad. That is what they are saying. So on one part, the young people who should stand with me against the minister are making a jest of me. The minister who should respond to them, I don't know what he's doing. But again, this is what the value system of Nigeria is, and it breaks my heart.